Okay.
You're good to go.
Good to go.
Good. All
All
right.
right, hi, everybody. It is 6:15. Michelle, can we please have roll call
Mr. Lawton,
here?
Mr. Kuchu,
Yeah.
Mrs. Saint-Amand,
Here.
Mr. DiMartino.
Here.
Great. Can we have a motion to go into executive session according to Rhode Island General Laws 42464 and 42465, subsection A?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Sue, second by
Second.
Joe. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's all yours, Karen, Aubrey.
Okay, do we go
Yeah.
into a breakout room?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm pushing right now.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Oh, what's going on?
Go to join the breakout
Go
room.
into the breakout room.
Okay.
We didn't close executive session, did we?
No, you can close it now.
Do I have to wait till Jim to tell me to go?
No, you can do
No?
it's part of executive session, closing executive session. You just
All
have
right.
to scale the minutes in open session.
All right, let's, can
I'll
we have a, somebody want a motion, closing
I'll
the
make a motion
executive
to
session?
close.
Motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right,
You're good to go, Steve.
good to go. All right, now it's 6:31, open session. Roll call, Michelle.
Mr. Lawton,
Here.
Mr. Kuchu,
Yeah.
Mrs. Saint-Amand,
Here.
Mr. DiMartino.
Here.
Great. Rainey, could you please read the mission statement?
Yes.
Thank
The West Warwick Public Schools, in partnership with the entire community, is dedicated to providing all learners with access, opportunity to a challenging, comprehensive education while developing 21st century skills in a safe, personalized learning environment.
Thank you. Joe, do you want to start us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure. Pledge allegiance
To the
to the
flag
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 of the
of the
United States
States
of
of
America
America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty
liberty,
and
justice for all.
Thank you, Joe. Can we have a motion to seal the executive session minutes, please?
I'll make a motion to see.
Second.
Motion by Sue, second by Rainey, all in favor?
Aye.
Superintendent's report.
All right, thanks, Steve. Well, good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. Just a couple of quick updates. As you'll see later on in the agenda, we'll announce some new hires or hires of people being hired into positions for the school department for this spring. One thing we've talked a lot about, this time of the year, we're already planning for next year. We're deep into the planning for next year. But we also know that our kids are in a very different place this spring from where they typically are in a spring in a school year because of COVID and the varying models of instruction delivery. So we knew it was important to support the kids from now until June as we plan for next year. So I'm really happy to announce that through Title IV funding primarily, we have several positions that will be some appointing tonight and some announcing tonight and some in the immediate coming weeks. Programs that are going to support the social and emotional learning of our students in a wide variety of ways at all levels, elementary, middle, and high schools. Some of the programs will have a content area focus of math or English language arts, but some of the programs are going to be more high interest based. For instance, cooking club, gardening club, future healthcare professionals club. Those are just a couple that'll be offered at Deering Middle School, as well as a program with an art teacher, a foreign language, a world language teacher, library sciences teacher, technology teacher, just to name a few more. Our goal is to, again, consider the social emotional needs of our kids. Some kids have had a really good experience and some kids have really experienced some trauma around the past year, whether it's in their education, there's, lack of socialization with their friends or just being out in the stores, the movies, the things we all typically do. So I'm thrilled that this came together. So again, we'll be announcing some of those appointments tonight, and then there's more postings going out. And again, at the elementary level, we'll have similar programs starting. So I just want to thank everybody for their work on this. It was really a last minute opportunity with our grant funding. We realized we could support it. And really very quickly at the last minute, the people involved, the teachers, the administrators in the buildings, I've been working really hard to design the programming. So I just really want to thank everybody. Online registration. Typically, our registration process has been all hard, in the past, all hard copy. In the recent years, we've had a kind of a split, online registration as well as some hard copy of documents. I'm thrilled to announce, and I want to thank everybody involved in this, that we'll have a new online registration program for people who are new to the district, or for people, residents of West Warwick that are enrolling their student for the first time. I just want to thank everybody for their patience. I know we're a little bit later, for instance, on kindergarten registration than we usually are. But I saw it today. Jim Monty gave me a run through of the whole format, and it's comprehensive. It's very user friendly. And after the family signs up online, then they'll come in person and they'll meet the registrar at the administration building to sign and just finalize the process. So again, I'll just thank everybody in West Warwick that's been waiting to sign your kids up for next year. I appreciate your patience, but it will be well worth the wait. It's a very user-friendly process. So I thank everybody involved in that. And, the last thing I just wanted to say is regarding next year. As I just said, we're already, very, very steeped in planning and scheduling for next year. We have all indications from the Department of Health and RIDE that if everything regarding the virus stays on course and there's no crazy variants that they really see a spike in, they're very optimistic about the vaccine program, and the federal government really, really ensuring that a lot of vaccine are on the way. The commissioner mentioned at a meeting twice this week that they're very optimistic that in September we'll be going back to school full in person. Now, it's very likely there'll be some health and safety measures that we'll still have to follow. It's very likely we'll still have to wear masks. I will be sure that sanitizing and disinfection is going to be part of any return to school. So that's really exciting news. I mean, it's still several months away, and we're cautiously planning for next year for a full return. And it was just encouraging to hear the commissioner say that yesterday. So, we talked about it a little earlier, and what a year it's been, and the challenges. And you're right, Sue. If we had any idea a year ago what was ahead of us, it'd be harder than it already was living through it. So that's encouraging. So again, at every meeting, we'll give you the update, and just look forward to September. So that's it.
Thank you, Karen. 12, discussion approval consent agenda. A, open session minutes, February 9th, 2021. B, executive session minutes, February 9th, 2021. C, the payment of bills of $2,932,418.96. And D, the home instructional plans.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Sue,
Second.
second by Rainey. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
13, is Joe with us? Yes, he is.
Joe is.
I am
Financial
here.
update.
How is everybody this evening?
Very good, thanks.
Good. Just a quick rundown of the monthly financial report. As of the end of February, we utilized 54.2% of the budget. A couple things I want to point out. As I stated in our last school committee meeting, we are now receiving the full original state aid funding that was originally offered to us before we did the $1.9 million cut. So we've got an increase in revenue. That revenue is being spent in several areas that you're going to start to see some over expenditures in the budget lines. Couple of lines I want to point out. If you look at textbooks in the report, which is in the supplies section, that's got an over expenditure of about almost $56,000. That's related to the purchase of high school science textbooks. You'll also see an over expenditure in technology related hardware of about $240,000. That is a purchase of a supply of student and staff Chromebooks for next year. So we're planning ahead for next year's needs. You'll see as we go forward through the next few months other areas of additional expenditures, and just a quick synopsis of what they're for. We're going to be looking at grades 5 through 12 program supports, ELA curriculum purchases for grades 6 through 8, staff and student software. The registration program that Karen just mentioned is one of those. Physical education, athletic and music supplies. We're doing some purchasing for the production department and some property service vehicles. As those come to you, or as we make those purchases, I'll make sure I show them to you on the budget so you understand what they're for and why those lines would be. They're showing a deficit to the amended budget. These weren't originally budgeted items. And that's it for the monthly report, unless you have the school lunch deficit. As you know, there is no school lunch deficit. The kids aren't, everything's free, but we are anticipating a deficit in the school lunch fund, which is more than just student accounts. And Sodexo is doing a great job trying to minimize that deficit. We're hoping that we can at least get close to breaking even. I think right now, as of the last financial report I got, which was today, actually, we're at about a $90,000 deficit. But with a couple new programs that Sodexo's put in place, we're hoping that we can recoup some of that or at least slow down the deficit. But again, like I said last time, because we have such a healthy fund balance in that fund, we are able to weather this without any concerns. And that's all I had, unless somebody had any specific questions on anything.
Okay, thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
All right. 14, discussion approval, amended fiscal year 2022 budget.
Members of the school committee, I recommend that there be a discussion/approval of an amended FY22 budget. And I'm going to leave the explanation up to Joe. But Joe came to me about a week ago after he had done a final projection for this year, and he mentioned a couple of the expenditures for next year that we just made. And based on that, and he'll explain in detail, and the funding that we ended up receiving this year from the state and the COVID relief money, we're going to recommend an amendment to the FY22 budget. So Joe, do you want to jump in and?
Sure.
Yeah.
The FY22 budget assumes a $900,000 increase in state aid. That, along with it, I always budget in the salary line some extra room for any unanticipated hires that come up. So with the reduction of some of those conservative lines for staffing and bringing our working rate from our medical expense from 5% to 4%, we are adequately funded if we go with level funding from the town. I just think it's important for us to make sure we ask for the money when we really need the money. We've built a lot of trust with the town. I think they need to know that if we don't need it and it's legit, we're not going to be hurt by that we're okay with that. But when we do come to them for the funding, that they understand it's for, legitimately it's needed. So plus, like Karen said, with all the preparation we're doing ahead of time this year with the additional funding we've received, I think we're going to be in great shape. So I recommend that we take a look at this and maybe go with level funding with the town one more year this year.
Yeah, and I support the recommendation. This time last year we came before you and we needed to cut $1.9 million from the budget. At that point, we expected that reduction from the state. So not only did Joe mentioned it earlier in the meeting, that allocation we did get, and then the COVID relief money, which this time last year we had no idea would be a factor in the equation, really went a long way in terms of supporting the additional staff we had hired just for this 1 year, our PPE supplies, cleaning supplies. So I think we find ourselves in a fortunate situation how the year played out versus where we were this time last year. And again, I support Joe's recommendation. Because of some of the expenditures for next year, we were able to take care of right now. We asked for from the town what we need, with the hope, with a continued building collaboration and partnership, that when the time comes where we do need to ask for an additional allocation, that there's the understanding that we'll get the support from the town.
Karen, have you reached out to the town, Dave, and tipped them off yet?
No.
No, okay, all right.
I wanted to bring it to the school committee tonight, and then, if it's warranted, I'll give them a call tomorrow.
Okay, great.
I have a quick question. The soon-to-be passed 1.9 trillion from the feds is going to have school funding in it.
Mm-hmm.
How will that impact our fiscal year 22 budget? Do we know? Do we have any idea?
As far as I know, we don't know any specifics. It's a lot of speculation, but what I hear repeatedly from RIDE is that money, that calling it ESSER 2, a second round of stimulus money, will be very targeted towards learning loss, curriculum purchase, curriculum implementation, identifying students who have unfinished learning. And, so it's my understanding that will be very targeted.
Hopefully the social and emotional hires that you're talking about now would be able to be encompassed in that, and maybe even.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. Do we need to motion on the budget?
Yes, you need
Okay.
a motion.
A motion on the amended 2022 budget.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Rainey,
Second.
second by Joe. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you,
Great
everyone.
job. Great job.
Excellent. Yeah, good. Yep.
Thank you.
And Karen.
Thank you for your support. Thank you.
We'll go to 15, discussion approval, the second reading of some policies. Do you want me to read them all at once, or do you want to go one at a time, or do you want to take it, Karen?
Go one at a time, Steve. Sorry.
Okay. A. Oh, I wasn't good with Roman numerals. We'll just go placement, promotion, and retention.
That's okay. Members of the school committee, I recommend that there be a discussion/approval of the second reading of the placement, promotion, and retention policy, which we revised.
Yeah, this
So it was
is
just a revision.
this is second. We discussed this last month, so I move that we approve it.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And 1V is 4, right?
Yes.
All right.
That's right, Steve.
4E3, class examinations to be deleted.
Members of the school committee, I recommend that there be a discussion/approval of the second reading of the class examination policy to be deleted.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Rainey,
Second.
second by Sue and Joe. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. C, high school diplomas to be deleted.
Members of the school committee, I recommend that there be a discussion/approval of the second reading of the high school diplomas policy to be deleted.
We have a motion.
I'll make a
I'll make a
motion.
Yeah, I just want to discuss this a little bit.
Joe, why don't you second it and then you can have
all right.
discussion, just so we don't lose track of where we are.
Second, okay.
Now you can discuss. Sorry.
It's okay. No, it's as I looked through this, I realized that this needs to be replaced at some point. And we don't mention that. We're going to delete the old policy, which I believe should be deleted, but we need a new one. Am I mistaken in that? Did I get that wrong?
No, so I think the school committee could replace the policy, Joe, or you could just rely on current RIDE regulations. I'm not sure what direction the district was thinking they were going to go in, but as we know, high school diploma regs change and evolve. And so I don't know if the thinking was we'll default to regulation, which we have to follow anyway, or if there would be a new policy. But I think either way, we're covered. It may be that the district would elect to also have a policy that is in line with the regulations. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was the original thinking, that it's already in regulation, so we wouldn't necessarily need a policy. But Joe, we can revisit that. You know, it would make more sense to have a policy. But that's what we've done with a lot of the policies, if you recall, that we're deleting.
Yeah.
Some of them go way back into the 70s. Actually, this one is from 1977.
Yeah, no,
And-
I believe it should be deleted. I just want to make
Okay.
a note that I think it also should be revisited. Because I don't think just relying on state policy for West Warwick kids is the right approach for us, okay? That's my thought.
Sure.
I think, Joe, with some of these, and not necessarily this one, obviously it's the will of the school committee. I think part of the problem is that West Warwick has had so many policies that it's almost impossible for us to keep up.
Yep.
Or for admin to keep up with updating the policies every year. And so we, as a district, probably have to figure out what areas do we feel like we absolutely need a policy, and what areas do we feel like it's okay not to have a policy, so that we stay on top of it. Because I think my concern from a legal perspective is I don't want to have all these outdated policies that don't match up with what the regulations say. So, I just think we need to prioritize where we need policies and where we feel like we can
Right, but
default to regs.
I agree with that, but it seems to me a basic policy that we need to have is what does it take to earn a high school diploma? And
Yeah,
we haven't revised that since 1977. So-
Exactly.
So we need to delete it, but we also need to have work on coming up with a policy to replace it.
Yeah,
And
I
even
think
if the policy just says we're going to follow the state mandates, but which I think would be a mistake. I think we really need to figure out what's best for our kids, separate from the state. Make sure we meet the state requirements, but there may be other things. We may have additional art things that we want to build in to be, it's a conversation that should be had. That's all I'm saying at this point.
And so, Joe, you should probably reach out to Keith Remillard, because I know he's been working so hard on trying to get through these policies. And I think if he knew that there was one that the school committee felt strongly should be prioritized as a revised policy, I know Keith, and I know that he would be all over it and happy to work with you and kind of collaborate on coming up with something.
Okay, I intend to do that. Karen already set that up, so thank you. Thanks, Karen. Okay.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
So I believe we have to approve or deny this, right?
Well, there's a motion to approve and a second on the table. So now if you want to call the vote, Steve.
So does everybody agree, or do you want to do a hand count?
No, it's okay.
It's okay? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. I think we're on D, evaluation of the instructional program to be deleted.
Members of the school committee, I recommend that there be a discussion/approval of the second reading of the evaluation of instructional program policy to be deleted.
Can we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Sue, seconded by Joe. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. 16, discussion approval, first reading of some policies. A, rules and regulations governing student activity.
So before I make a recommendation, there's a mistake that I need to correct. Instead of revised, it should say deleted. Can we amend that now, Aubrey?
Well, a deletion really is a revision. So I think that it's fine. I don't think that's misleading.
Okay, so I can say, as noted on the agenda, revised.
Yeah, revised to.
Deleted. Okay.
being
And the
deleted.
revision is deleted. Okay.
Deleted.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Okay. Members of the school committee, I recommend that there be discussion/approval of the first reading of the rules and regulations governing student activity policy to be revised, and the revision would be to delete it.
I move that we approve it.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
B, class gifts to schools, revised.
Members of the school committee, I recommend that there be a discussion/approval of the first reading of the class gifts to school policy to be revised, and the revision would be deletion.
I move that we approve it.
Second.
Second by Sue. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. C, drugs, tobacco, and alcohol to be deleted.
Members of the school committee, I recommend that there be a discussion/approval of the first reading of the drugs, tobacco, and alcohol policy to be deleted. And to be clear, this is one of the policies that is in state law.
Let's, okay.
Okay.
I'll
We
make
have a
the
motion?
I'll
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Rainey, seconded by Sue. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We have a couple maternity leaves requests. A, an ESL teacher at Greenbush Elementary School.
Members of the school committee, I recommend that you approve the maternity leave request from an ESL teacher at Greenbush Elementary School.
I'll make a
We have a
motion to approve.
Motion by Sue,
Second.
second by Joe. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And the last one, B, grade 2 teacher, John F. Horgan School.
Members of the school committee, I recommend that you approve the maternity request from a grade 2 teacher at John F. Horgan Elementary School.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Sue,
Second.
second by Rainey. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then we have a acceptance of resignation, bus monitor at bus 14.
Members of the school committee, I recommend that you accept the resignation from Renee Brehoff from the position of bus monitor on bus number 14, effective 2/12/21.
I'll make a motion to accept. the
Motion by
resignation.
Sue, second by Rainey. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And some new hires, Karen, you have?
Yes, so I'm pleased to announce we have some new hires or appointments to positions of folks that already work in the district. The first is a long-term substitute grade 5 teacher at Deering Middle School, Maria Carnevali, effective 2/11/2021 through 6/25/2021. The second is a part-time special education teacher assistant / building floater at Wakefield Hills, Rochelle Sarlo, effective 3/2/2021. The next is a proficiency-based virtual ramp-up club program teacher at Wakefield Hills, Jill LePage, effective 2/10/21 through 3/11/21. And the following teachers have been appointed to the after-school intervention program, specifically for senior support for credit retrieval at the high school: Christopher Bechet, Amy Irons, Robert Grenier, Alyssa O'Brien, Joseph Pacelli, Monique Roussel Maynard, Lori Tashin, Richard Marchetti, Carol Ann Silvestri, Nelson De Silva, effective 3/8/21 through 6/4/21. And the last set of teachers are for the after-school social emotional program teachers at Deering Middle School: Kelly Rodriguez, Samantha Scatone, Kristen Mitchell, Edward Davis, Chloe Robitaille, Raymond Perry, Karen Doucette, Lisa LaCampione, Hillary Zadik, Tracy Enos, Heather Roberti. And those last two sets of teachers were part of what I talked about earlier in terms of our spring interventions and specific ramp up credit retrieval for seniors. So I really appreciate everybody's efforts at the last minute to pull those programs together. That's it.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Jim, do we have anybody for the audience of citizens?
We do, Steve.
Okay.
And they are in the meeting right now. So they can
All right.
unmute, and also if they want to turn on the camera, they can do that as well. And then Michelle, if you need them to do anything like their name, address, and all of that, feel free.
Okay. So audience of citizen, if there's someone here that wants to speak, I think that's Jim.
Yes, hi, good
All
evening.
right. Yeah, just state your name and your address and then you're good to go.
Jimmy Villavon, 63 Lexington Avenue in West Warwick.
Okay.
I knew this day would come. My son is 4. His date of birth is September 2nd. He was born at 1:28 a.m. So I know he doesn't meet the cutoff for kindergarten registration. And I'm reading through RIDE and pass legislation and so forth. And it looks like it may fall on the school committee. So here I am today. I know I could have easily sent an email, but I love to, I'm an in-person kind of person. I know this isn't in person, but this is as close as we probably can get. And I just wanted some feedback or questions. I'm not trying to make an argument that my son is gifted. He has been in childcare since 4 months, so he is in pre-K. But, you know, I'm aware that because of the cutoff, it's for budgetary purposes. You know, you budget so many kids to be in a kindergarten classroom. And I'm asking if there's room, you know, would there be consideration, or what is there a process, if any?
All right, I'm going to let Karen probably answer most of that for the start.
Sure, I can speak to that. Good evening. Thank you for being here to express your concern. And I'm not sure if you've spoken to anybody in the school district yet about it, but regarding the district's position on the cutoff for September 1st. And I'd be more than happy to talk to you about this offline. It's just, you know, it's not only been our experience with students in the district, but the research supports students that begin school before that date, you know, the success in every way, academically, socially, emotionally. So that's the point that, you know, so that's the rationale behind it. Again, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it.
Okay, should I send an email or?
If you want to send me an email with your contact information, I'll be more than happy to give you a call.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Jim, good luck.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Is there anybody else that has to say a few words? If not, can we have a motion to adjourn? Anybody? Anybody? Ferris?
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hey, guys, stay safe.
Thank you,
Stay safe,
everybody.
everyone.
Take care. Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.